So today I got this Audi RS6. Right now it's gloss black. I got the bumper off, headlights out of it, everything that needs to come off. These little marker lights are off. Spark fin up top is off. Just makes it that much easier to do the roof. Taillights are out. So the color we're going to be using for this car is Avery Dennison Satin Metallic Black. Avery is my favorite brand to use by far for multiple reasons. One being these cut lines on the back. It just makes cutting and measuring so much easier. 3M has it, Oracle has it, but I just love using Avery. Everybody has a preference. Avery is definitely my favorite to use. I don't mind any of the other brands. I'll use whatever, but that's just me. So first thing I'm probably going to tackle is the rear bumper. Get this thing up on some jack stands, make it a little bit easier so I don't got to lay on the ground for everything. Yeah, we'll get to it. Okay, now that I got the tires off, I'm just gonna explain kind of how I'm gonna go about this. With this rear diffuser here, I'm only gonna be wrapping up to this line here. He's gonna be getting a new, different rear diffuser, so we're not gonna worry about doing this. I wouldn't be able to wrap this mesh anyways. I'm gonna run my 3M knifeless tape along this nice hard body line here. When it comes to hard angles like this that you see, you can't run the wrap in this hard of a contour because then you'll get pullback over time. It won't hold up. So basically I'm gonna do this whole big section here as one big piece, and then this section here as another piece. I'm gonna do this piece first, so this piece overlaps this piece. Just got to kind of think like water in this situation. You want the water to run over top of this piece. You don't want the water to run into this piece. Plus, when he's unloading stuff out of the trunk, if he hits this corner right here, you don't want it to peel back the wrap or nick it or scratch it or do whatever. So I'm going to try and film me running this piece of knifeless tape here. It's kind of a two-handed job to put that stuff in here, so we'll try and set up the tripod and get that. So this is knifeless tape. This green line right here. You always want to leave, 2 or 3 inches at the end for something to grab onto to tug it. This is basically what it is. It's just a nice string in the middle of it, and it just cuts the wrap where you want it to be cut, so you don't have to cut on the paint. It just makes a nice, clean, straight cut. I use the shit out of this stuff. So if you're ever wrapping your car and if you got to make any sort of cuts anywhere on the paint, I always recommend putting this stuff down first. That way you don't have to run your knife along the wrap and run the risk of cutting too far through the wrap and cutting the paint. This stuff is the best. Okay, so I'm about halfway done with this bumper here. Not quite. But got this all laid down, done. It's all tucked in there nicely. Nice wrapped around corners all the way down under. And then just tucked in there all the way along it. Just getting this whole side glassed out just like that side. And then finish cutting out the rest of the bottom of the rear diffuser. And then work from the top, getting all this down. So we got this little, got shit on my hand. This little tail here, you just pull this all the way along this. Once you get it all the way, oh my gosh, this is. Okay, once you get it all the way through, just grab this whole big piece here, pull it off, toss it, come back over here, grab this, and it's just going to be underneath this a little bit. So you'll go back all the way down.
Pull it all out. Try and line it up.
And then you just need to go back over and finish pressing it all back down. Go back over this with the heat gun just to make sure it's all pressed down nicely. And that's that. So now all I gotta do is just post-heat this, post-heat the entire thing. Make sure there's no little air bubbles I'm not seeing right now. Finish cutting out the sensors. And then I'll be moving on to the top piece. Now that we got this main piece on the bumper all done, I'm gonna run the knifeless tape along this again, so I don't have to cut on the vinyl that I just laid down. And then I'm gonna cut a piece to run all the way along this top, tuck it underneath here nicely. Okay, the next thing I'm going to tackle is the roof. I usually like to work from the top down. Just makes it a little bit easier, and if I was to do the doors next or a fender next or anything low on the car, when I would do the roof, if I was to do those first, I would constantly be leaning up against them, and I just don't want to run the risk of scratching them or just even any sort of mark at all. That's why I always like to start from the top down. The bumper was okay to do because I already got the trunk done, so I don't really have to lean over top of this at all anymore. So I'm gonna take this thing off the jack stands, get it a little bit lower so it's easier for me to do, and yeah, go from there. The hood. I like this hood on this car because on some of the Audis, this goes down and it's all one piece across, and it makes it a pain in the wrap to make sure you get it all the way. It just creates a big air gap in the center and it makes it a pain. But with the way this is, how it comes down like this and comes down like this, and that's it, should be a pretty stress-free, easy hood. So I'll get this piece cut, wipe it down with some isopropyl again, and set up the tripod. Hood is obviously done. So now pretty much the whole top half of the car is done. Fenders now. The front fenders. I'm gonna jack this thing up again. Get it up in the air a little bit, make it a little easier to do these fenders. So this right here, that's a thing of beauty right there. That one is done. Shut this hood so we can see what it looks like. Coming together. Okay, next piece I'm going to tackle is going to be this rear quarter panel. But that goes all the way up over the window. So this is going to be a hefty piece. It's going to go from here all the way up over to here. So these are usually pretty fun. Sarcasm. I mean, they're still fun, but they're big pieces. So I got the piece cut here. It's a big dog. These are, if there was ever a time where I wish I had another person here, this is it. So we'll get after it. quarter panel is done. Man, that's a big piece. All tucked in good. Tucked in back there. Tucked in good here. So with the doors and the handles, with these being flush mount handles, I can get away with not taking them off. I should be able to go over top of them with the wrap and then flush cut it underneath and push the excess in, and it'll look fine. That's how I've done it in the past, so that's how I'm gonna do it this time. That's how I'm gonna go about doing both doors. Okay, it's time to do the front bumper. When it comes to front bumpers, especially a complicated one like this, I'm going to set the bumper on the car, just kind of slide it into these bolt holes here, just so it's on there and stable. It's really hard to do bumpers by yourself, off the car or on a table or even on a stand. When it comes to stretching the wrap, having the bumper cover on the car just helps keep it from moving when I'm wrapping it. Take a minute and set that on there. Okay, now that I got that on there, I'm just kind of set in there. There's no bolts in. It's kind of just, can't really see that, but I'm gonna leave these tails kind of pulled out like this, so that way I can get the wrap in back behind here all nicely. I'm gonna try and do this in one piece. It's not something I usually try, but I think I can with this bumper. So we'll just try it. If it don't work, it don't work. That's the nice thing about wrap. I can always peel it back off and try a different plan. But okay, slight change of plans. I'm not going to do it as one piece anymore. I'm going to basically put a piece from here down to here. It's hard to explain, but when I lay this wrap over top of this, I'll be able to get the wrap pressed down into here and be able to curl it underneath there, but I won't be able to make this hard right angle right here, or this hard right angle right here, and be able to stretch it into here and press this up. Otherwise, over time, you'll get pulled back from right here. This won't hold up. So basically gonna run a piece right here. I'm gonna do that first, so the seam is hidden a lot better. The seam will basically be right here. Nice body line, good place to hide one. And then one right here, just down to here, on both sides, right there. I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna do the whole piece. I know it might not seem like it on video, but I don't know, it's probably been 30 seconds of video, roughly. But it's been an hour and a half since I started this front bumper. These are easily the longest things to do on most cars. I'm about 3/4 of the way done. I still got to push this in right here. Press all that down, press all this down, press this down, and that. But that shouldn't take me more than hopefully 20 minutes, but we'll see. I got to cut these out yet. These are for the light washers. And then this front bumper had false sensors. They're just, it's just a cover or a cap in there. So there's not actually a sensor in there. But once I get that done, then I'm going to take it back off the car and fold this stuff around. That way I can get it nice and behind. Bumper is done. It's all wrapped in here good. Sensors are done. This one's done. It's all tucked in here like it should be. So yeah, we'll get this put back on the car, get the grill inserts back in it. I think this is going to wrap it up for me filming, wrapping the car. I'm not going to film this lower skirt down here, and I'm also not going to film this side of the car because everything on this side is the same on this side. So with that being said, this is going to conclude me filming wrapping it. I will make a video of the finished product, finished car, everything, and I will put that video in right about now. Well, it's pretty clear to see that the car is done, and it looks pretty freaking awesome. I'm going to try and continue to do this, making videos on everything I do. At least try to on the big jobs like this. I hope everybody liked it. I hope maybe you learned something. I don't know. If you didn't, oh well. But yeah, if you want to see more videos, subscribe, like, comment below. Do what everybody does or don't do. So I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.